get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Hi, Thrive Loud listeners. I'm Elsie, one of the interns here at Thrive Loud. Today, we'll go back to Haley Sachs and hear about her story of starting Mrs. Don Jones. Mrs. Don Jones is a financial media company that focuses on the female perspective of Wall Street and promote financial literacy. Though growing up with her dad working at Wall Street, Haley doesn't pay much attention to the finance world for a long period of time. So what drives her to create the brand of Mrs. Don Jones? What's her motivation for stepping into the finance world? Let's find out the answers in today's Minnesota.
Thank you. I would love to tell you. So I had a very privileged upbringing. I grew up with a dad that worked on Wall Street. I grew up in New York City on the Upper East Side and basically lived a Blair Waldorf life existence but totally ignored the markets, like was obsessed with celebrity culture, but totally not tuned into what was going on in the business world and could read Us Weekly cover to cover, but never even went near the Wall Street Journal. So I was like very anti-Wall Street, like really just thought like, okay, like I'll marry someone who can do this. And until then, my dad will do it. I know I'm such a feminist. It's overwhelming how feminist I was. But then literally when Kim Kardashian got robbed in 2016, I was so upset that I took a step back from my devotion to celebrity news. And in the interim, I was like, wait, should I start reading like real news instead? And then I was like, ew, that's weird, but ultimately decided to do it. And although it started off, sounding like Russian or German to me when I would, try and understand what was going on in the business world, I actually stuck with it and really started to take to it. And much to my surprise, not only could I grasp it, but I liked it. And it gave me this whole new perception of the world. Like suddenly I was, seeing a store close on my street and it wasn't just like sad. It was the end of brick and mortar. So it opened up my eyes.
Hey, Haley, I want to jump in here. What specifically about the Kardashian robbery was the aha moment with you that you needed to change? How did it affect you in a certain way that it made you just say, I can't do this anymore? What was that?
I know. Well, it just, Lou, thank you for asking, but it really is, it just, for me in that moment, it was just like celebrity culture had gone too far. I felt like I was part of the problem almost, like it was my fault that she had been robbed, I was like, wow, like I've contributed to making these people icons because I give them so much attention and I need to put my attention towards something else for a minute because this has crossed a major line.
Okay, so now this is an interesting observation that you made. You started recognizing you wanted to read a certain content of news and understand a little bit more about something that was literally in a culture around you.
Yeah.
But did you also recognize, and this is the keen part, that people in your generation who aren't from the Wall Street world might not know exactly what everything was? Was that how it kind of all blended together?
Well, yeah, 100%. Because my audience now definitely spans to reach people who like straight up just work on Wall Street. But like that was never my initial goal. Like I love that that's my audience now partially, but I'm also trying to reach like the regular girl who like knows to match her 401k, but doesn't know whether or not to like invest in an ETF or a mutual fund. You know what I mean? Like that person who's like is financially with it enough, but is still like sort of barred out from the culture just because it's a really intimidating world and it's there's not really anyone out there who's explaining it. And so that's what I want to do.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.